The other day, a connection of mine messaged me and had a question. They said, Ben, I'm in the interview process with a company. I've made it to the very end, but in my final interview, the hiring manager expressed concern because I've been out of work for a little bit. How do I answer that question or that inquiry? Today we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about why it happens and how you can respond to alleviate their concerns and get the job. Hi, this is Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I am passionate about using my 11 years experience in recruitment to help you become the best candidate possible and get your next job. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. If you are new though, take 3 seconds and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I release about 3 to 4 videos a week on helping you become a better candidate. So go ahead and subscribe. So let's jump into it. Now, if you've watched some of my videos before, one of the things that I'm a firm believer on as being a candidate is closing, right? When you get to that final stage, you want to close. And the way I've advocated closing in the past is by, reaching the end, talking to the hiring manager and saying, do you have any questions or concerns about my ability to do the job? Now, if they say no, excellent. Affirm your interest in the role. Well, great. I'm interested. I would love to come work for you, right? That's excellent. But what if they say, I do have a concern? Today, we're going to talk about one of those very specific concerns. And that concern is, what if you've been unemployed, right? And they go, well, I'm a little concerned. You've been out of work. And, to be honest, that does concern me a little bit. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if this happened to you right now, late 2020, early 2021, that's a wild question. They should know why you've been out of work. For the vast majority of people, it's because of COVID, right? But I want to talk about this question just kind of at a high level, because I want to talk about how you could handle it at any time. And that's where I want to take this today. Let's start with the why. So why do they ask this? The reason hiring managers ask this question is because of the investment. So if you hire the wrong person for a role, conservative estimates are that it will be about half that person's salary to 2 times their salary. So let's say it's a $50K role. That means hiring the wrong person could cost that organization $25,000 to $100,000. It is a big decision when it comes to replacing, training, onboarding, maybe things that have gone wrong while they're in the role and things they have to do to recuperate loss. It's a big risk to hire the wrong person. So there's a huge emphasis on hiring the right person. And a lot of hiring managers have the belief that if a person is not currently in a job, there is something wrong with them. That is not always the case. But that's where the concern comes from. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to address it. The first thing I want you to be prepared to do is be prepared to hear it. I don't think anything gets you off your game more than being surprised, right? When you're a candidate and if something hits you out of nowhere, you're not prepared to respond to it. So if you are someone who has had a big employment gap, maybe previously in their career, or they're having one right now and you're trying to get back into being employed, I want you to be ready to hear the question. Just assume it's coming. I want you to have your answer prepared. I want you to be emotionally prepared to hear it at any time in the interview, because I feel like that's the first step, is just know it's coming and be ready to hear it. If you were surprised, you're probably not going to be able to address it as well and as thoroughly as you would be if you were ready for it. Now, the second key here is I want you to welcome the concern, right? So if they ask you that question and you're like, oh, how dare you? That's not going to go well. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But if they say that to you, right? And instead of being off-put by it, you go, that's a really good question. I appreciate you asking that and giving me the opportunity to address it. Which one sounds better? Clearly, it's the one where you're talking about positive. So 1, don't be surprised. 2, welcome their inquiry. This isn't an inquiry, right? This is an opportunity for you to explain to them your perspective, the situation you're in, what you've done, and why it should not be a concern for them. If you have that mindset, you're going to be able to answer this question pretty well. So those are kind of the first 2 things. So after you've done that, right, you weren't surprised, you welcome their inquiry, I think it's important to state to them just how interested you are in being back in a full-time role. So you go, thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up. First, I'd like to say that, 1, I am really interested in getting back to work in a full-time role. I'm really passionate about that, and I quite frankly, I'm excited about the prospect of being back in work full time. That's what I'd like to be doing. Part 2. The second thing you want to express to them is that you have been selective, and that's part of the story. And why have you been selective? You've been selective because wherever you go next, you want to be there for a long time. So you're not surprised. This is a recap. You're not surprised. You welcome their question. You explain to them that you are interested in being a full-time employee, but part of this process is you have taken your time to be really selective about what you have applied to and what you have interviewed for, because wherever you go next, you would like to be there for a long time. What you've just done there is you've alleviated their concerns, right? They're concerned, maybe this person isn't interested in full-time. You handled that. Then they're like, well, I'm concerned this person will jump ship again. Nope, you handled that. So that's part of it. And then the last thing you want to do in this little series here is you want to explain to them why you are a great fit for this role. You've waited because you want to be selective until you found a place you can be for a long time, and you specifically think it's their role because A, B, and C. You line up from an experiential, from a values, from a function perspective. You've been waiting for the perfect opportunity, and guess what? This is it. So those are some of the things that you want to say if you were asked this question. 2 more things. So the second to last thing is, if there is something you've accomplished in the meantime, you want to add this here. So in addition to everything I just said, you can add in, in the meantime, where I have been off, I've been taking the opportunity to go and sharpen my skills by doing that, which I feel has been very productive for me, and I think it'll contribute to my success upon entering the workforce again. Something like that just shows that you had a positive spin. You continued to work on yourself and sharpen your sword while you were out of work, and you think it's going to help you be even more successful moving forward. Now, what is the last thing? The last thing you need to do if this comes up is you can go, hey, so that's my background, that's my story. Does that alleviate your concern, right? And ask that question. If they say no, there's not a lot you can do about that, right? Because you've given them everything. And if they're not able to get over it at that point, they just might not be able to, and that's unfortunate, but it seems to be the reality here. But a lot of times they'll go, yeah, actually, that helps a lot. Thank you for giving me that background. To which you respond, good. I'm glad. I totally get it from your perspective, and I hope this does alleviate your concern. If you have any questions over the next couple of days, please feel empowered to reach out to me. I will happily answer any additional questions you have. Thank you for your time. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you. When can I expect next steps? And there you have it. That's everything you need to do. So I hope this helps. Again, thank you for taking the time to sit with me here and walk through this. If you haven't already, again, please subscribe, like, comment. I answer any comments below. If you're seeing this on LinkedIn, go find me on YouTube. I post even more content to YouTube than I do on LinkedIn. And good luck in your next interview. You've got this.